Alright, this will be one of the add-on instruction samples that Rockwell provides with version 30, and just want to kind of go over it. This is the first glance for me, so just want to kind of give you what my first take on it is. So first and foremost, I go to tank simulation, being that I did a tank simulation myself and wrote a bunch of code for it. They actually have made a simulation AOI, which you can see here. You know, you can pretty much set the data points what you want and run it, and that's right here. I'll show you the base code for it. It basically has a loop output going in. It has a dead time. It has a gain, your bias. So it describes everything that it's going to do. And then on the dead time, it comes out and goes to the lead and lag. So this would be the simulated PV. And then, of course, so if we looked at the one right here, right, so we could go to open instruction logic. This would be the actual one for that tank, you know, like we've shown in prior videos. So this would be the actual values and everything it's doing. So to head back to what they have here, so you know, then you have a flow element down here too. So flow in and flow out. Again, this is tank simulation, and this is loop simulation. So this is simulating the loop, and this is simulating the tank. So if we look at tank simulation, which is right here, so you see this gets a little bit more complex. With that said, you know, they have everything from the flow into the tank, the flow out of the tank. You know, then they basically, you know, do some math right there, then go in to the totalizer and have your again your constant values, right? Your basically your gains, the flow time. It's obviously locked into a set point, and then you have you know, tank capacity, empty tank. So they have different things controlling different elements at that point. You know, so this would be float all the way back to here. This comes back to empty tank would obviously say that tank is empty up here, and or tank is empty, then it's going to reset the totalizer. So it's a pretty robust system they have, you know, as far as pretty simple to follow, you know, and stuff of that nature. So we can go to the tank simulation that they currently have. You see there's values in there, there's values running. You know, and it's just kind of, you know, just going through the software real quick, right? So this is just the add-on add-on instruction samples that they have, and this is the version 31. So if you look at it, it's a version 30.011, and this is the samples that they give for what they're passing out with the software suite. So this tank simulation, then we have scale with parameters. So they have a scale with parameters that they're apparently AFIN. So just to kind of see the difference in that. And scale with parameters obviously has been something that was out in what was out in 500, RS Logic 500. It was a very helpful thing, I thought. Scale with parameters, obviously they kind of get rid of that for a little while. They have the scale, they've always had the scale, but it's not with scale with parameters. Has been something that I think it looks like they're just come back and put a little yep, see, and it says right here, it says this routine performs the operation that the SLC 500 scale with parameters instructions did. This is the use of this instruction data for your analog module, and bring the limits in the prescribed process variable or another analog module. Example, use the the scale to convert a 4 to 20 to a PID. It's the same thing that they used to do in basically the SLC 500, which is a good thing that honestly I thought was a good thing to bring back. It looks like they're bringing this back into homemade instructions that they built, that they're doing. And but hey, I mean it's still there, so that's kind of good. It's very simple too, so it's not like if we looked at the different processes they're using it in, they're not really doing much with it. But and let's look at the scale. So actually, let's go back to the parameters and tags. We can look at the what is a basically this. Let's see, all tags. You configure. Let's see. So this is pretty interesting as far as that goes. As far as the inputs, outputs, whether they're going to show them if they're reals. Just kind of helpful to break down the different things, different elements. So yeah, just real quick. It was pretty simple, right? The looks like the scale. Let's see. This is the. Let's open up the properties. This is the scale of parameters. This is the scale. Yeah, the scale with parameters, giving rate and offset. Okay. So the this is pretty much the same, except one's a little bit more, adds a little bit more to it. And again, I think it all revolves around bringing an element back from the SLC 500, which was, I think, in my opinion, I like that. I like the SLC 500 scale with parameters. It was very helpful. The scan time, I think, is the reason they got rid of that. But it looks like they found a way to incorporate it back. So, of course, we've all, I think, some of us have made their own and kind of progressed from there. So that's pretty much the things they've had. Let's just see. They got one more up here. It's date and time examples. So the clock, honestly, the clock has been there for a couple versions. I'm not sure the scale of parameters, and they may have been. The loop simulation I know is new, at least in my eyes, because I've did my own loop simulations before. I will say the time up here, this clock time is pretty much that's been around for quite a while. And looks like just going off of this, the couple of these may be newly added. See, it's actually showing. That's pretty cool right there. AM, FM, or morning, AM, PM. So it's basically you got that's pretty cool too. So again, I'm showing this is the first time I've seen it. And so I'm kind of going down seeing how they're using their logic there. So it's pretty cool to see just the layout of it. And there's several more right here that basically they made. The Delta T is probably something that a lot of people actually no, that's not what I thought the Delta T would be. That's different. And then you have, let's see, what do they call this one? Yeah, okay. So you got parameters, local tags, scan modes, signature, which I'm not surprised they didn't throw a signature, but it says obviously it's made by Rockwell in 2006. I'm curious about this loop simulation when it was made. Oh, apparently that's been around for a while. Okay, shows you how up to date I am with what they make and what they don't make. I've been making my own for a while, so not to say that their simulation right here wouldn't work. I think that I kind of like my own. Of course, anybody that programs is going to say that. So, when's this? Yeah. So these are looks like they're all pretty much generic. They've been around for a while. I know the T clock has. Yeah, I've seen it quite a bit. So these are some elements that they've had for a little while. They are just showing that they still work in the version 30 in this example. And like I said, I just wanted to kind of show the what their couple representations of a couple of different things, just to show them that they work and work, in the scale of parameters. Looks like they brought that back. They brought that back in 2007, but I don't know how many of y'all have actually used it. I did not know about this. Honestly, I've been writing my own process loops for the last, I don't know, for the last 5 years. So probably since they came out with this. So anyway, just want to kind of go over to some of the elements on that. This is the, again, the add-on instructions sample that comes with the version 30, and just want to kind of give the first glance of it. So you've seen it as the first time that I've seen it. So, you know how I am on this channel. I like to feed forward and not to sit here and act like a pro. I'm gonna give it to you honest. So, I think that's the best way we learn. So anyway, just wanted to kind of open it up, show you guys. And I may convert this back to 27 and actually simulate it, or 28 and simulate it to run. Actually, let's try to do that. They're only giving it that. There's a trick to this though. Let's do the trick real quick. And let's do desktop. Okay, so go to, no, do not save. Do desktop. And start. New project. Browse and desktop. I don't see anything there, so logic files. Actually, what I need to do first is edit it. So add-on instructions. So you need to worry about this. You need to worry about the version. So we're going to call this 28, right? And we're going to call this 28. Let's see, come down, need to hit our processor. So 28 again. Let's just put it like that. And then hit save. So, okay, so import from desktop, and then we'll put add-on. So it's going to build it now, and we'll basically what we're trying to do is take what they had in version 30, and by editing the L5K, because I saved it as a L5K, editing the L5K, I'm trying to basically take it back to 28. It's a common feature, right? So I'm pretty sure a lot of you have seen that I've done that in the past in my past videos. So this is no secret. Not dropping any kind of crazy secrets here, right? So I put version 28 just so I know. It's going to start. If it runs into any errors, then it will let us know. Okay, so see this right here? It says the version was not right. So watch. Then we take this and we take it back. Remember I told you that could be a potential issue. Take this back 19. Hit save. And it's not like I'm breaking the ground here. Right, so again, open. Let's do this. We called it version 28, right? V28. All right. So at this point, it's making. And again, if there's any errors, we will attack them. We won't just, we'll 100% fix them. So for those of you who did not see anything converted before, you have now seen how to backdate a program using an L5K. Alright, so with that said, let's break out the old emulator. And let's make sure this is an emulator. So this is not an emulator processor. But what we're going to do is we're going to change it to an emulator processor. So we're going to go down to emulate processor. Change type, yes. I hate making these videos long, so I hope I'm not running too long for you guys. But this is some pretty value added stuff. That emulator is in slot 0. I want to change it to slot 2. It's just the way I roll. So change it to slot 2. There's a reason for that. Slot 2. Alright, so real quick, let's go to slot 2 and download. And so we've taken what they had in version 30, we've taken it back to 28. We've since then fixed the issue, changed it to from an L75 to an actually to a virtual backplane, basically a emulated version. So and they probably had, honestly, if I would have tried it at 28, they probably had the same thing. I just I like trying to challenge myself sometimes. So this is that code running, and as you see, it's actually, the tank weight is moving. So if we looked at the instruction logic, you would see the data is flowing, right? And so as far as that goes, tank, this is tank into flow into tank is at 1. They're taking that and they're saying, okay, well, the flow into tank is going to here. It's also running, it's going in, so it's rising, right? At this point in time, it's rising. It's going here, it's greater than 0, and then it's coming out. And if this and this, then it's going to stop. So as soon as it reaches the target, right? As soon as it reaches the target, which the target is, what is the target? The target is 40. So we're going to let it run to 40. Then it's going to stop. So I just wanted to show you guys their tank simulation running. I might actually use this. I mean, this looks pretty cool. Mine was kind of, well, I mean, I don't know, kind of still partial on mine. So again, I know this video is going to run a little bit long, but the value of it is well worth the wait. So I know a lot of you guys that follow me quite a bit know that I'm trying to add value, and I wouldn't, waste your time. So I appreciate your support and your time. So as we count down and wait till this thing hits 40, actually, let's speed it up. I think we can speed it up. The gains are, See the gains, old. There's gotta be a way to speed it up. Gains right here. Yep. So we'd have to change the flow in. I think, yeah. See, enabled. We're looking for flow in. Right. And I don't see that. Am I missing it? Flow into tank. Flow into tank. There's more than one way to do that. Okay. Now we do this and we go back to instruction logic. Okay, so now it's sped up a little bit. So we have the flow into tank a little bit faster. Matter of fact, we have flow out of tank too. Let's straighten that out. Let's see, 5. Make it, we'll make both of them 5. Okay, so alright, cool. Alright, so where'd it go? So it went to here. Oh, I get why it stopped. I wasn't supposed to do that. Okay, cool. So the wild world of logic, right? So anyway, so basically, you know, subtracting, if you subtract the flow out versus the flow in, you would have got 0 and it wouldn't have moved. So we're going to watch it get to 40 right quick and see what, you know, make sure it does what it's supposed to. So tank level is currently 37. And I'm glad I sped it up because I would have wasted some time. So 40 is coming. There we go. So it hit 40, right? So when it hit 40, this became, you know, basically this became true, or this was already true. And this became true. Then it came down to here and hit stop. So at that point, you know, basically, so if we wanted to, we can basically swap the flows, and I think it, let's see. So at this point, 5 and 0. At this point, the tank should run down. So if you didn't catch that, I basically reversed it. The tank should run down, and then, you know, so either way, showing the simulation, showing you the back door and how I did things, and hopefully you kind of get you know, how to do things and how to set them up. And you've seen some value in the video I did today. So again, not to waste too much of your time, just wanted to show you the simulation, some of these. And for those who wanted the code, for those who wanted the simulation code that I did before, I'd much rather give you this code so you can play with it, being that Rockwell made it and Rockwell's not scared to share it. The code that I made is proprietary to what I'm doing, so I would have to hack it up so bad just to give it to you. I mean, I don't mind doing that for those who wanted my code, but just let me know as far as the full versions and stuff like that. I mean, I can do something, but I have to take the naming culture out because it is proprietary to my industry. Okay, so real quick, you know, these things right here, I mean, I can shoot them to you easily. I can make them in whatever version you're running and shoot them to you if you wanted. Because this is Rockwell's code. They don't mind sharing it. They want to teach you this stuff, and that's why they don't mind me doing this channel. So again, thank you for your time, and I'll be doing some more of these videos, and look forward to speaking with everybody, and let me know if you need to see anything else. Okay, so again, thank you, and go ahead and subscribe, share, like, because this is the only reason I do this channel, is to there's no other alternative motives to this stuff. I mean, there's a website connected to it too to help show these videos and explain them a little bit too, and that's onlineplcsupport.com. All right, so thank you, and look forward to speaking with y'all. Thank you.